Hello, BSG. Welcome back to our BSG Lustrum. Up next, we have the Addams family by the one, the only IndiSR, or, considering we're going with old layouts and everything, I gotta mention Ind Drag Pack. We haven't used that name in a while.
And
Hello,
it,
Indy.
it it even is like the wrong pronunciation, but that's
It
completely
doesn't matter.
fine. That's like hi. Uh, yeah, my name is Ini. I am very honored and pleasure to be part of this fifth 5-year birthday of BSG, and showing you the first game I submitted to BSG. Technically not the first I actually ran at BSG, but the first one I officially submitted. But yeah, gonna be it's gonna be nice, and I'm really glad that I have Krull with me here, who, if something goes wrong, he can take over the run and finish in no time. So it's gonna be
I'll
fine.
just quickly drive over to your house, take over the controller, and finish it from there.
Which, like, driving over to my house probably takes the same amount as like you finishing the run. But,
Yeah,
um,
pretty much.
which was not a read. That's a fact. Almost.
Oh yeah. Yeah, just give us the countdown when you're ready.
Wait, give. Wait, give me. What? No, that looked weird. Give me 1 second.
That's an interesting looking screen.
1 second. Okay. Errors. Well, that definitely never happened before. Okay. It looks good. Okay. Yeah. I'm ready, so let's start. In 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go. So yeah, this is the Addams family, any percent. I'm probably not going too much into the details. The only thing that I'm saying is, technically we need to save all of the family members in order to finish the game. But, walls are just suggestions. So we're using an entrance as an exit to re-enter a level to get into the final level. And that's basically how we skip almost the entire game.
Yep, that does sum it. Does sum it up quite well. So, Indy, with that out of the way, tell us about how you got to BSG, because you've been a big part of the BSG history as a whole.
Oh, how do I got part of BG? I actually don't quite remember. I know the person that kind of got me into BSG was actually you. I think I was, at the time when I was into Final Fantasy 1, I was watching a lot of your streams, and then I was just chatting with you and decided, okay, I'm kind of considering going to BSG. Do you have like any advices or like can help me? And then we ended up deciding, you know what, come to my place and we go to together, and that's basically how I ended, and didn't leave for a very long time.
Yes, well, Indy does this trick because it's actually a really difficult trick. So, leading up to Indy's first BSG, we kind of learned that he somewhat lived on the way, like halfway between, that I lived somewhat on his way to BSG. So we figured, you know what, you can come to my place and we'll drive together from there. We'd never met before that point. And that started a tradition that we kept for probably like 2 years.
A tradition we still do every time we there we go, nice. Every time we drive together, we're either driving with Krull's car or my car, and we're sitting there and listening to video game music, and always singing to Final Fantasy songs, in particular Final Fantasy 9, Melodies
Yeah,
of Life.
Yeah, we've sung a lot of Melodies of Life for sure.
That just it still gives me the chills when I hear that song.
Very understandable.
And
So,
I do miss those times.
Yeah, what was... Because I remember your first BSG, it was like BSG
11.
11. Yeah, I wasn't really sure. I knew it was around that somewhere, but I couldn't remember for sure. So what was it like going to BSG for the first time for you?
I definitely was nervous because I didn't knew anyone except you, but I have met you like 2 hours ago, basically, when we went there.
Pretty much.
It turned out that I actually knew Rickles and Dutchay because in the a few months before we went together to ESA. So I met those guys at the airport. So I was really nervous, but it actually was. I mean that feeling was gone pretty fast because I met I met so many cool people and everyone was so welcoming. I was becoming a part of the family in no time, and which is one of the things that I enjoyed and still enjoy about BSG, because everyone knows everyone basically, and it's just like a big family.
For sure. So you were actually a staff member for quite a while.
Yes.
Like a lot of people that are a bit newer to BSG might not realize how long or what you've done with staff. So, could you talk a little bit about that? About what that was like, your experiences, what you did.
So I actually don't remember all of the things that I did. I know that I was part of the scheduling team, which not only gave me the experience behind making a marathon schedule and the cuts and all that, it also gave me like the experience to advance further in life, which eventually led to me in becoming the head of events and schedule for UKSG for I think like 2 or 3 years. And I was also taking part in most of the other activities, like volunteering, setting the entire stream up, helping with the preparations for annual. It sure wasn't always easy, but it was definitely worth it. Also, sorry, I had to do that because that's like my favorite part. I don't have to do anything. I can just like press and hold R and do whatever I want.
I remember this part. So, any favorite moments from BSG that stand out for you?
I mean, at the time, it was definitely a favorite moment because I won. Looking back, I wouldn't say I regret it, but I probably, if I would meet my my past me, I would definitely say like, yeah, you shouldn't have done that. Talking about the famous Dark Souls bid war, hashtag $2,000 pie, where I may have donated a little bit too much money on a name, but it was actually kind of fun because I mean it wasn't at some point it wasn't even more about like the name. at some point it was only like, okay, you guys challenge me, I can do this. So this is kind of something how I became famous for BSG. Another one of my favorite moments was definitely the entire BSG annual 2017. There were some good parts at annual 18 as well, but yeah,
Yeah, annual 18
was
is still a special one. Let's just say it like
yeah.
that.
And besides that, I think I enjoyed every ride with you to BSG. I enjoyed every time I got my first capsalon. Oh my god! I remember BSG annual 2017. On like the last day, we were like, okay, we already cleaned the kitchen. What should we do for dinner? And I was like, we could order food. And people were like, yeah, sure. And then we were standing all in the line. And Rickles asked me, okay, what are you gonna order, Indy? And I was like, I have no idea. And he was like, I'm gonna order some capsulon. And I was like, what is capsulon? And I googled it. And I was like, okay, I need this. I definitely need this. And since then, I've ate more capsulons in my entire life than I've probably eaten bread or something.
Yeah,
Because-
you at some point you got to the saying, "A capsule on a day keeps the doctor away."
I'm still saying this. And
Exactly.
I mean, look at this. At BSG 2018, the annual, I have eaten capsulon almost every day, and I was one of the few people who didn't got sick. So
That is
I
true,
guess.
yeah. That's it's funny how true that is, that you were one of the few people who didn't really get sick, and you had capsulon just about every single day.
Yep. So, children at home, eat more capsulon. Without pineapple, because no. I should also mention we are about to hit the final boss, the judge. So don't judge me on my delicious taste and favoritism of capsulon. Oh, getting two on the left. And getting two on the right, maybe? Oh. Okay. Okay, got him. And going...
So get ready on time for tech.
Whoop. In before I get the soft lock. Yeah. Get ready on time. Time. Did him. I also have to say, I had to improvise because my console broke, so I had to play it on my PAL console. But I still did it on the original NTSC cartridge, which I have to say, I got signed by the one and only Christina Ricci, the actress who played Wednesday Addams. And I have to thank Cruel for that.
Yeah, that's another thing which actually ties back to BSG, and I think that's the story we're gonna finish it off on. I think that was that 2020?
Yeah.
That might have been very early 2020, like before 2020, before COVID. Me, Indy, and Kepsert went to Brussels Comic Con, which is where Indy got to meet one of the actors from the Addams family. The cartridge he just ran on is actually signed by one of the actors. So that was, that's just another little thing that I think is worth mentioning. Anyway, I think with that out of the way, Indy, thank you so much for joining us today.
Thank you so much for having me.
Yeah, my pleasure. I don't think we could have done this Lustrum without including you. You've played a massive role within BSG over the past few years, and it was lovely to see you run something again.
Yeah. I have to say that I definitely enjoyed every single moment within BSG and the entire community, and the people in the community definitely helped me somewhat becoming the person that I am today. I may not actively speedrun anymore, but I met so many cool people through BSG and got so many new friends, and I think if it weren't for BSG, I wouldn't have improved my speedrun skills and also my language skills, both in English and a little bit of Dutch. And I would have never gotten a chance to eat kapsalon, so I guess we're having a win-win situation. So
Sure.
yeah, I can only say thank you.
Well, and thank you, Indy. We're gonna leave it here. We're gonna go into a quick intermission, and once we get back, we will be moving on to some Rayman, probably one of the games that has been run the most at BSG. So definitely worth sticking around for. That'll also be it for me for now. I'll be back for the final run of the marathon, A Story About My Uncle. So until then, enjoy and stay tuned.